Hey guys, and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the functional trainer bicep curl using a supinated grip position. This is an incredible exercise for your biceps, and you probably see a lot of people do this. So let's just go over how to do it correctly if you're struggling to do that. The first thing you're going to want to do is set up your cable arm all the way down to the bottom, and then the rotational arm, you want to just rotate it all the way to a 1, so that way you're inside the machine and not on the outside and like in the middle of the gym. Then you want to choose your appropriate weight. So I recommend you start off light, do 20 repetitions, then start to slowly increase the weight every other week. Once you do that, take a little step back and make sure that you're grabbing the bar with your palms up. That's a supinated position, just so you know. And if you forget, imagine holding soup in your hand. That's basically the position of supinated. Then once you're in that position, come to a full extension at the bottom and flex when you come up, just up to the shoulder. But before we continue, a word from today's video sponsor.
Me, I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
And the next thing I want you guys to focus on is making sure that you're keeping the tempo of the exercise smooth. A lot of people tend to use a lot of momentum with this exercise because they're always trying to lift more weights. It's usually the guys. And what I recommend is that you don't do this because, trust me, you're going to end up pulling your bicep or you're going to end up hurting your back. So when usually you go too heavy with this exercise, people arch their lower back like crazy and then their chest is like all the way in the air. You want to avoid that, obviously, because the heavier you go and you do that, the more likely you are to get injured. And then if you get injured, you have to stop training, which is like, what's the point? You want to be able to train for decades. And the only way you're going to do that is if you do the exercise safely. Now, I'm not saying don't push yourself, but just push yourself in the right way. So push the muscles, not like your whole body as a whole, just by trying to lift more. Another thing I want you to do is to make sure you're keeping your shoulders back. You don't want to be rounding your back while you do this. Keep your shoulders back, maintain your posture, go all the way down. And what I like to do is actually like to flex my triceps at the bottom. That means that I'm coming to a full extension. And the antagonist muscle group, which is basically the opposite muscle, is going to be your biceps. So just make sure you go all the way down, then come up and flex your biceps. Try to bring the cable up or the handle up to like your shoulders or like mid upper chest. That's more than enough. If you go any higher than this, your elbow position is going to change. So you want to keep your elbows tucked in at your sides and stationary. You don't want your elbows moving forward or back. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a second. Next thing I want you guys to make sure you're doing is making sure you're keeping your core tight and your glutes tight. That's going to lock your torso in. So here's some common mistakes. Using momentum in order to move the weight. So you notice my lower back is arching at the top. You don't want to do that, and you don't want to be bending over like this. Another common mistake is doing half reps. So you don't want to be doing half reps, whether that's at the bottom of the range or at the top. I don't even recommend you do like 21s. You can look that up and see what that means. So it's basically 7 at the bottom, 7 in the middle, 7 at the top. And like I said, you don't want your elbows changing position like this. You don't want your elbows coming up. Keep them fixed at your sides. That way you can isolate the muscle as much as possible and minimize any injury. The last mistake I want you guys to avoid is making sure that you're not flaring your elbows out and keeping your chin up. Avoid these.